the final countdown. You got the full crew here. No Holden. Obviously, Holden's got the week off, so that's fine. We handled that. We brought on the big guns. We got Hoop. We got Kay Fallick to join us for this Up to Lock show, and obviously Big T with the fresh haircut. Tony, I'm going to start with you because you know what? I'm a little pissed. I couldn't get my haircut as you see.
I was just about to say, you said you were getting your haircut and you still got that terrible lid up top. Where is your freaking cut?
So the lady was not happy, but she approved of my decision because my barber texted me I was supposed to go in at like 2:50 or whatever it was. And Barbara texted me at 1:30, said, dude, I got to go home. I got a fever. I got chills.
You and tell him to cut your shit first is what you tell him.
My girlfriend said to me, she goes, he's going to offer to have someone else cut your hair. Do not go in there. And I was like, fine, I won't. I was going to, but I was like, you know what? I won't. I don't want to get sick or anything like that. So I didn't go. No haircut. He's going to schedule me after the holidays. So she's got to deal with this lid. So,
sorry, at least Kelly. Let her rub it for you tonight. Let her get in there and caress it a little bit.
I mean, she does like it after I come out of the shower. It's a little spiky, you know. She does like that.
She in there with you?
Yeah, she'll get in there with me. Why not? Shower time's great. I know you love shower. Shower time's the best.
It's my preference. No cleanup.
Are you a shower time guy too? I'm completely.
Imagine not being a shower time guy. Like who doesn't like the shower?
I'm more of an anytime, any place type guy. But showers.
Yeah, but you still have to have your favorites. There's always
showers definitely open. Showers definitely open. And I will say I know. This is premium, right? I don't want to talk to you. I've gotten video. I gotten picture. Big T. Big T is an active shower member. I know for sure.
Easy with stories here.
Yeah.
Big T might not have shower time anymore. If you
is Amber watching? Is Amber watching right now? Hey, Amber. Hi. You're still one of my favorite ladies.
She's definitely not watching now, but who knows when she watches the
then never mind. I'm not gonna. I love Amber. She's so sweet. Kay Fallick, what's up, man? How are you doing? Shower time guy as well.
I am, but I think we need. I think we need to take a minute, though. I said this in the pre-show, but can we all take a second and have a moment of silence for Adrian Peterson having his last snap ever in the NFL? So please, everyone, give us a second. Thank you.
He looked so bad too.
He was dusty. I was there for his last snap in the NFL. It was a absolute pleasure to be in attendance.
You went to the game this week?
Yeah,
I got poured on.
How did you go to that game? What did you get? Seats on the field?
I'm a Texans fan, so
not this year. I put my card in for a year. I'll be back next year, Texans.
Yeah, I wanted the Titans to win, but I still can't miss out.
You can't be going to that game in a rainstorm.
It was storming the whole time. Everybody around me left. I went with
you battled it out the whole time too.
The whole game. I was there the whole game. My pockets. So the worst part was I'm usually when I go to these games, I'm able to take my phone out and keep up with all the other games. I couldn't take my phone out at all because it was just raining nonstop. So I had no clue what was going on in the other games. So I was pretty worthless, I'm pretty sure, for the weekend review because I had no clue what happened in any of the other games except for box scores.
I mean, all you needed to know was the Green Bay game and Jonathan Taylor, so you were able to catch up pretty quick.
Yep.
So if you didn't have Jefferson, Adams, and Taylor, and it's pretty easy. Yeah. And it's crazy though. The teams that actually won took on multiple as long as you had those three, it literally didn't matter. You were allowed to ship. You could
literally take on, matter.
Multiple busts.
I'm looking forward to this NBA slate. I'm really getting nervous about these international guys sitting out due to their Thanksgiving meal prep and stuff. So gotta keep our eyes on that. Make sure that they're fully prepared. I'm calling. I have JT Hayes in the background. He's over in Atlanta making family phone calls to make sure that the Jokic family has done their full prep for Thanksgiving to see if he's able to play or if he's not because he still has to cut the carrots and the celery to make the turkey trimmings going and all that good stuff. So we'll be in touch. Don't worry, I'm here for you guys. Don't worry. All right.
All right. Well, we'll get to those guys in a minute. First off, just real quick, some of the news that just kind of dropped a little while ago. Bam Adebayo is going to play. Tucker Robinson still questionable. It says Robinson appears likely though. So it looks good for at least Bam is good and Robinson is likely to play. Also, Anthony Davis is now officially a game time decision.
Freaking so Hoop. Hoop sends pictures of me and that's just Not right.
What picture did he send?
Oh, someone deleted it. It was up there.
Oh, where did Drew put it back up?
Time?
I actually didn't delete it. And
Drew,
someone else deleted it for me. They're nice.
Yeah, put it back in there, Drew. I like that picture. That's a good picture.
He said after shower time, that's where BigT goes. And he's not wrong. I won't deny it. I mean, I do like my nap time after certain activities.
All right. So real quick before we get into this slate, we got the Pistons and the Lakers on the slate. They're not facing each other, sadly, but I saw the fines and the suspensions given. I just have to say one thing. The fact that LeBron James gets 1 game and Stewart gets 2, and Stewart got fined that amount. Like, what are we doing here? LeBron James.
What does everyone keep talking about this fine? Like, I haven't seen it anywhere. There's no way this dude got fined $900K.
It was a fake account.
It was a joke, but he still got fined money and suspended. And I'm saying
that's because he was a psychopath.
He was a psychopath. He got punched in the face, Tony. He had blood, and it wasn't like a like a little tap. He was bleeding on his face. Like there's no way he was.
Don't
a psychopath.
defend your boy, Tony. Don't defend your boy. He's a little bitch.
Way.
I'm not defending him. I'm defending the fact that 2 games and a fine for a dude that was a psychopath on the court is not
Love
crazy.
To see it. I wish he would have got his hand. Oh, how amazing would that have been if he got his hands on LeBron? Oh,
I think he might be fake tough.
Oh, I don't think so.
Who's Stewart?
Yeah,
Stewart?
like he was he was a psychopath. Like
he's literally running dudes over to try to get
there. He was a psychopath for sure. That doesn't mean he was going to do anything when he got there. He was already face to face. Why didn't he do something when he was face to face?
I'll say this. He was face-to-face with them. There were players all around, but he could have gotten something in at that point.
Swing, big boy.
He could have, for sure.
I don't think he realized, at that point, I don't think he realized, like, how bad his face was. Like, I think once he, like, saw, like, all the blood, like, really drip.
He started to get more and more mad, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you've been hit in the face or whatever, once that adrenaline starts pumping and you start to feel like the pain, or if it's blood, I'm sure that made it kick in like it's real.
Too. He pulled the move where he acted like he was good for a minute. He was going back, and the minute he got like a room, started running right back for it.
Well, I was wondering at the new Caesar's Palace or whatever, the new what is it? It's the Little Caesar's Pizza. How close the visitors' locker room and the home locker room are, and whether.
Did you guys hear the video of them being like, as it was going on, they're like, "Please stay in your seats."
Yeah,
all
they
fans,
don't want round 2 of the full melee.
Please stay in your seats.
They don't mess around with that here. That was wild. The best part about that, like one of my best friends was like, I mean, obviously you wouldn't know, but he's like he's sitting right there. I mean, he was pulling our tests off. Like he was sitting like right in those seats where it all went down. So it's so funny to see the videos. He's literally right in there.
Oh, that is kind of cool, actually. Every year the video circulates too. So every year your friend like recirculates in the eye. That is kind of funny.
Always staying in the limelight.
All I have to say, though, on this, though, is LeBron instigated that whole thing by popping him in the face, and he deserved the biggest fine and suspension for sure. No doubt Stewart was a psychopath after, and LeBron was chill. But you know what? LeBron was the one who got his punch in, so he was good after. He's like, yo, I got my hit in. That's what I wanted. I wanted to pop this dude. It was he probably wanted to elbow him, but it was a punch. Like, it was a fist to mouth or face punch, and LeBron James deserves way more than 1 game for that.
I say let's suspend him for the year. I mean, let's get him out of here, boys. Suspend him for the season.
But the NBA, my theory is the NBA probably called him and said, okay, how many days do you need off to rest your legs and your wrists and everything else that's wrong, and we'll make sure to give you that suspension, and it can be your reason that you need your break again.
You know what it was, K-Falk? I think he wanted the long Thanksgiving Day break, right?
I think you're right.
He wanted the Thanksgiving break.
I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked he even got suspended 1 game. So maybe there is a Thanksgiving break in there for LeBron.
It's gonna be Jokic, Luka, LeBron. They're all sharing.
I wonder if they're gonna have Thanksgiving together or something. They're all gonna get together and hang out.
Maybe. I mean, if they all sit out tonight, I think it's more likely than not possible. So, all right, that's it. I just wanted to say that Tony's going to defend LeBron. It's very sad. I don't even.
It was a cheap shot what he did for sure, a blatant cheap shot. I'm not defending him.
I mean,
I'm
it was
just
a punk
defending
move,
the fact
Tony.
that
it wasn't. It was a punk move.
Yeah,
LeBron James
shot.
at 23
thousands
doesn't do
of
that.
thousands of basketball players have got frustrated and swung like that. Like
yeah, with an elbow though, you don't.
And he missed. You called it though.
fist.
Like I'm not even defending LeBron. I hate LeBron the last 3 years. It was fluky how the punch like hit him though. He like swung and like he wanted to hit him with the elbow, which would have been just as bad. And then his hand like goes through. Like, what are we going to suspend him for 7 games for trying to getting frustrated and throwing an elbow?
So, Tony, you know what it was for me? It was the video where you could see LeBron turn his body. Exactly. If it was on purpose but accidental, you don't look the dude in the eye as you do it. You like bring your elbow down and keep your eyes on the ball.
On purpose for sure.
Yeah,
it was on purpose.
And that's what I didn't like was that he literally turned his face and looked at him as he did it. It was rough, but whatever.
What about our boy Crane shipping soccer today?
Crane ship soccer?
Yeah, he's in here thanking Jaime right now. 17K.
Let's go.
Craner.
Yeah. Big Crane. Is Crane watching right now? Crane, are you in here?
Yeah, Crane, are you in here watching? Getting dubs.
Love it. Love to see it. What's his username again in here? Is it Jax?
I don't know what it is in Discord, but it's Jax on the.
It's Jax.
I think it's Jax in the Discord too.
All right. Well, hopefully Jax is in here watching the show.
And the winners never win. I seen him thanking Jaime in the soccer.
Oh, I see it. Members never win. Yep. Yeah. 10K for he came in first, second, fifth, third. Yeah, he had a bunch of them up there.
He's got the worst screenshot of all time. Takes a picture with the actual computer screen with the light beaming through.
I usually make fun of JSU. This screenshot's even worse. There's like a glare on this. It looks like JT Hayes during that Zoom call where the whole screen's like you have sunlight coming through. Yeah. What's that glare?
What's on Crane's computer? What's on the screen? There's like shit all over the screen.
He might have been excited with that shipper. There might have been a little residue on there.
The chances of Crane posting this on Twitter now is dropped by at least 30% after you guys made fun of him. That's all I'm gonna say now. Come on, Crane. We still want you to post it on Twitter, buddy. Do it for us. We love you. But all right, let's finally get into the basketball talk because we got 4 games.
I wish he was watching right now and he's not. He'd be laughing at what we're talking about.
Send him a text. Get him
on the show.
Yeah, tell him to come celebrate.
He's not watching, unfortunately. I don't think he hasn't wrote anything in there.
Who knows? Maybe he'll pop in. You never know. All right. So big picture stuff, guys. This slate, we got 2 early games, 2 late games, 2 studs that are questionable on the late slate with Jokic and Luka, and then obviously AD, who's a game time decision. But we should get that news close to lock, hopefully. They just ruled game time decision about 15 minutes ago. I saw that. The game starts at 7:30 Eastern. So, K-Falik, what are we doing here? Is it first just like we got to wait for the AD news first to kind of see what we're doing? Or is it like backload for you? Or are you for sure liking these early games?
Well, I think you have to be very interested in Detroit no matter what. So I think that's where this thing starts off is I think I may be interested, or I am interested in the big what I call the Big T special that we used to do back in the day, where we get both min-priced bigs for Detroit. I don't see how they can play Jeremy Grant at the 5. I don't see anyone else. So you have Trey Lyles and you have Luka Garza, who you can play both of them in the power forward and center spots. Don't lock up both potential center spots, but you lock in those 2 to start, and you move on, and those are your 2 value plays that you're playing on the slate, and you're getting 6K for, or whatever they are. I don't know the exact numbers. They're 6K. They're 6K together, 48 minutes plus, in my opinion, at 6K. Again, someone can try to sell me that Jeremy Grant's going to get run at the center spot. I don't believe it. And I will defer to y'all if you actually think he will, and I'll listen. But yeah, I think you start with those 2. I think Detroit's a very interesting spot in general, because they don't have guys. So if you look at the rotation from last game with Isaiah Stewart, they only played 9 guys in general. I don't think that number goes up much except for Garza getting into the rotation, is the way I see it. So.
Okay, Valley, first of all, a lot of those guys that they have, a lot of guards, right?
Yep.
They're down Olynyk, Stewart. I mean, they're going to play, as crazy as this is, they're going to play Corey Joseph a good amount of minutes. They like him. They're going to play Frank Jackson, is someone who's actually gotten some run anyways, been a decent shooter the past couple of games. He's going to get some run.
You know how old Frank Jackson is?
Diallo. No, I don't
he's
know.
Like 22 years old. I feel like he's
he?
been around forever. He is only 22 years old, and he has a ton of talent. And I think
I do feel like he's older than that. You're right. I do feel like he's been in the league a lot longer. But again, Diallo, Cade Cunningham, Saddiq Bey, who's like a 3, really, but sometimes he can play bigger, I guess. Josh Jackson. I mean, like for me, I get what you're saying, but I don't know if I buy those 2 guys playing 48 minutes. Unless it's Trey Lyles getting a ton of runs.
Who's the 2 guys? I don't even know who the 2 you're even talking about. Garza and who?
So Trey Lyles and Garza are the only 2 bigs they really have, Tony. Like the only 2 like true bigs, I guess.
And Miami's gonna play Bam and Dedmon 48 minutes.
I mean, I don't know.
They're not going to play him 48 minutes when they get run off the floor by the smaller guys.
Well, I mean,
who the hell is Garza going to guard?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he can't guard Bam, so they can't. Well, it'll tell by the starting lineup. I want to see what their starting lineup is.
I talk about cement feet all the time on this show. Garza has the biggest cement feet of all time in the NBA. He can't guard anybody.
The concern with Garza is, I mean, I know it's
white.
Well, that's also a concern. It's a concern as well. But the fact that they haven't used him like
racist.
Tony hates all white athletes. Tony hates
call him out, call him out right now.
He hates all white athletes. I mean, all white wide receivers. He hates Hunter Renfrow just because.
I don't hate white linemen though. They're allowed to be linemen in the NFL.
He loves it. His favorite player in the entire world is Nikola Jokic.
Yeah. It is funny.
One exception. One exception to the rule.
I like non-American whiteys. I'm only racist to the American whiteys.
The fact that they haven't used Garza much this year is a little concerning. Obviously they're a shitty team and they've had opportunities to roll him out there. I mean, they've gotten their ass kicked a ton this year. And, he's only cracked 15 minutes one time this season. So that is somewhat of a concern. I think they could potentially roll Jeremy Grant. I mean, it's not going to work out for him. I mean, Bam or Dedmon will be able to crush, but the starting lineup will tell a lot. And we should get it here pretty soon. So, once we see who's starting, that will, we'll be able to have a better understanding of what's going to go on here.
Let's be honest.
I want to know where all the Cade Cunningham haters were for the first month. People keep making fun of me every slate. Oh, Big T's on Cade again. Well, now he's 7,400 and he's gone for 40 plus like 5 straight games. Where are those haters at?
Scored 50, Tony.
Yeah.
Scored 50 last game.
It's freaking good.
First triple-double.
Yeah. Listen, all I know is that Jeremy Grant, if called upon, he's a good defender. And if they needed him to guard Bam for some of this game,
Jeremy Grant can guard Bam. No, he can guard Bam.
But he's not going to just guard him like.
Bam's not an offensive player.
I understand this, but if they put him down in the paint, they're not just going to let Jeremy Grant go one-on-one with Bam the whole game.
Even if they do, Bam's not going to carve him up in the paint.
I know, but I'm just saying they're going to give him help. I mean, especially they're just going to give him help. That's what's going to happen. So I think Jeremy Grant plays some 5. I think you see Saddiq Bey and Jeremy Grant play some 4 and 5. Well, Saddiq Bey play 4 and Jeremy will play 5, but still, I think that happens. They're going to go guard.
That's how they're going to start. That's going to be the starting lineup.
I just want to see this. Let's see the starting lineup. Let's reassess in 15 minutes when the starting lineup shows up.
All right, let's go to the Lakers game then and talk about the what ifs with Anthony Davis being in or out. He's a game time decision right now with an illness. Game starts at 7:30, so hopefully we get it before lock at 7. But what are we doing if Anthony Davis is out? Is it just load up on your Lakers here?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, so the issue with this slate is there's like a superstar in every game. Well, now I guess we got Bam that's in. The last three, we got a superstar that's questionable. You know, Anthony Davis, questionable. Jokic, questionable. And Luka, questionable as well. So it makes it pretty difficult. So for me personally, the first one that's ruled out, I'm just loading up on that team and taking my chances. So if at 7:30, Anthony Davis is ruled out, I'm loading up on the Lakers and then crossing my fingers and hoping that Jokic is in and hoping that Luka's in. This already without LeBron James, so they'll be without two superstars. Now, the problem with loading up on the Lakers is there's just not a ton of options. Their roster freaking sucks. Horton, I like regardless. Horton Tucker, I think, is a phenomenal play. With LeBron out last week, he crushed. And it's not just like, okay, he's paying off his price tag. Show 40, 50 fantasy point upside. So I love Horton Tucker here regardless. Even if AD's in, I'm on Horton Tucker. If AD's out, like he turns into a lock for me. Then you look at Russell Westbrook. But like I said, the problem loading up on the Lakers is the roster is just terrible. I don't want to play Carmelo, maybe Malik Monk a little bit. And then on the Knicks side, like they have quite a few guys out. No Taj, no Mitchell Robinson, no Derrick Rose. So, I mean, this is a spot I think we can come for some value. RJ Barrett's been playing a little bit better. He's probably a lock to get like 35 minutes here. And he's been over right around 34 fantasy points in 2 out of the last 3 games. Can Kemba Walker get going without Derrick Rose? I think he's interesting. Alex Burks, Noel, even some of these secondary guys, quickly, and Toppin. I mean, there's a lot of options here on the Knicks side. I mean, they're relatively thin. And then on the Lakers side, yeah, it kind of depends on Anthony Davis, but Horton Tucker I like regardless.
Yeah. Knicks are thin for the bigs for sure. They do still have a good amount of guards, even though Derrick Rose is out. So that is a bump. I really like Alec Burks at his price tag. Starting to show some upside too. Already out, like he's outplaying Evan Fournier to the point where I think he's just overtaken him completely, in my opinion. Evan Fournier sucks. Like he's never been good. And you know what? He's the opposite of what Tibbs loves. He plays no defense, and all he thinks about is his offense. And on this team, it just wouldn't. It's not going to work. So that's why in my opinion, he's going to slowly get phased out. Alec Burks is a good two-way player, in my opinion. He can play defense, play offense, do a little bit of everything. I think he's a good play. RJ Barrett, I could see he's underpriced for what his upside is. Kemba is cheap. So Tony, what are we doing here with the Knicks? Like, do you agree that it's a good source of kind of value or run backs if we're loading up on Lakers if AD's out?
Yeah, I mean, you have to have some interest in these guys for sure. I mean, I'm just looking at these names. I mean, Quickly always sticks out to me, but for whatever reason, they just don't. I don't know why they don't like him more than they do, but
he's getting a good run though, Tony. The last 6 games, he's gone from like 15-ish minutes up to an average of 25 or 26 minutes. So I think that's a very but he doesn't get the ball. He's playing off the ball in this situation though. So they're putting the ball in Kemba and in Rose's hand, and he's playing the 2. I don't know if he'll take over at the 1 at all.
I think you'll see a mix of him and Alec Burks.
Yeah, that's what I think.
If they're out there together, that's why I like Alec Burks. But you could talk me into some Quickly. I wouldn't be against it on a 4-game slate.
I mean, 3,800 on a 4-game slate. I like all of these prices. RJ Barrett, like Hoop said, looks too cheap. Burks, Quickly. I mean, I don't like Fournier either. You guys made fun of him, but I mean, he's 4K. I mean, these guys all feel really cheap to me in this game. Just eyeballing it.
I want to focus in on Nerlens Noel a little bit more if we can.
He's the only one I don't like.
He doesn't
like him either.
He doesn't
He's
get
so bad.
He has to get.
You would bring him up. How do you always find the one guy I don't like?
I'm not saying let me finish.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's impressive though. That's what I wanted to say.
No,
you can always find that one dude.
I don't think he's necessarily a good play, but I want to say that I think he's underprojected for minutes because the last game he played 26 minutes. They're like, oh, he's going to play 26 minutes again, is what I'm seeing across the industry, 26 to 28 minutes. I do think he's underprojected because what he got in foul trouble early and couldn't get out of foul trouble. So if you think he stays out of foul trouble potentially, then you're looking at 33, 34 minutes for him instead of the 26 to 28 minutes that I'm seeing across the industry. Again,
I would bet my life that he doesn't play 34 minutes.
So the chat is dying right now. A lot of laughter involved between the back and forth.
I just named off like 9 Knicks, and then he comes in firing with I just want to look at Nerlens Noel.
I just wanted to say the one thing that I had to say about him. I agree with you on all.
It is uncanny, though. JSU, is it not uncanny how no matter who I talk about, he always finds one random dude to bring into the discussion.
So you brought up the entire Knicks roster.
The whole team.
Literally, the entire Knicks roster of like playable Knicks, and he brings up the one guy who's going to start, who you just don't like and didn't bring up. And he's like, I really want to focus on him.
The dude is the biggest cheat.
You got to make sure, and it's making sure we're filling all the voids. You know, I mean, we got to hold Big T accountable.
My favorite so far in this show. He's talked up Luke Garza, Trey Lyles, and Nerlens Noel. He's bringing the thunder to us.
All business.
I love K Falik. He always keeps that same.
For the record, I am with K Falik. I kind of like Noel a little bit.
Oh, too. You guys freaking played Nerlens Noel.
No, I have a question. I have a question for you guys. If AD is out, does that hurt Noel in your eyes, or do you still see him getting?
AD is not playing. Like AD is not playing in this game.
You don't think he's playing?
I agree with you.
No.
I agree with you.
If AD is out, it has to help him, if anything, because they're going to have to play.
I'm asking.
They're going to have to play
the question.
Tony, let me finish. Jesus Christ.
Whoa! What did he do? What did he do to you, K Falik? What did Jesus do to you?
Yeah, thank you. What did Jesus do to you,
Tony? Or if AD is out, that means that Dwight Howard and DeAndre Jordan are going to be playing the center spot, which is a good matchup for Noel. You got a guy who is younger and more athletic than these two old guys are at this point, and they're going to be on the court the whole time. They're not going to be. They don't have anybody else they can play at center, so that's going to mean Noel's going to be at the center spot, and he could be a better play. I also would say that Julius Randle becomes a better play if AD is out, because they're going to have Carmelo Anthony and other scrubs guarding Julius Randle at that point.
Yeah, definitely going to need a lot of help.
I don't know if I should bring up Julius Randle because Tony didn't bring him up, so I want to hold off on being.
Yeah, if you want to play 10K and Randle with Noel, then you can go right ahead.
I just think that there's so much good value from the Knicks. We should be sticking to the value for the Knicks. In my opinion, I think there's other spend ups that we can just go to, but probably would be contrarian.
I would do anything in my life before I played Nerlens Noel. I would literally, I'd go up to the roof and just jump.
Oh,
he's so bad. He's the worst basketball player ever. He's like Drummond, except worse.
I'm gonna have to go find Big T's like messages in Discord over last year when Nerlens Noel was like his favorite play on the slate.
No, that's never happened ever. Find it. Find the
never
receipt.
Been my favorite play. I love how Tony is.
My favorite slates the last 2 years were when he was chalky, when everyone was like, oh, he's a lock today at 5,600. He's going to play 40 minutes. And then he'd get 23 fantasy points, and everyone would be like, he got there.
The last time he was chalk, he went to the locker room twice. That's what that dude does. He's so fragile.
I challenge someone to find me saying Nerlens Noel was a good play. Prove me wrong.
All right, chat, do some work.
That's a long history, too. You might be able to find a slate somewhere where I talked him up. I doubt it, but I challenge you.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
All right, well,
I did have a front row K-Falik burner. He was terrible at Kentucky. He's not good enough for Kentucky.
Before we get to the later games, Tony's
50 ball incoming. Yeah, if Noel gets a 50 ball, I'm gonna have to take like a couple weeks off of DFS.
We spent way too much time on the stove talking about Nerlens Noel. Just way too much time in general.
I blame
Austin Reeves, one of Tony's favorite players, is out for the Lakers, so get him out of your lineups. Just another Whitey. So get him out. No Austin Reeves for the Lakers. I want to talk about the
bet side, though. I want to give the people that are watching a bets winner. I literally don't understand how the Lakers are a 6-point dog to the Knicks. Sign me up for the Lakers. The Lakers are not losing to the Knicks. 6 points? I hope AD's out. Give me Westbrook doing everything.
All right, so we got official news. Duncan Robinson is officially available for today. PJ Tucker is also available today. So it seems like the Heat are going to have their full team with Bam and Duncan Robinson and PJ Tucker. Let's go on to the later games, and then we'll circle back. Hopefully we'll get some news, and we'll circle back to these earlier games. Let's start with the Jokic game. Let's start with Denver versus Portland. So Portland's been a team that throughout the years, I think Dame Lillard's had some really good games against Denver. I think Dame's starting to come on now. I watched that whole game against Philly. He looked really friggin' good. Like he looked like he was the norm Dame Lillard, who just was making everything coming off screens, ready to shoot, knocking down shots like it was nothing, like effortless. And he was struggling shooting earlier in the year, and he looks right now to me. And he gets a Denver team with or without Jokic. Like, I think Dame Lillard is a decent spend up, especially if like Luka is out, AD's out, and we're down a few spend ups. I also think if Jokic plays, I like Yusuf Nurkic because I think it means a few more Nurkic minutes guaranteed because of how well he has played Jokic in the past and given him some fits. And he's only 6,300. And he's played really well in the limited minutes he's gotten. He got 23 and 23 minutes the last two games. The game against Philly, he got hooked because he couldn't move his feet and they were switching screens at the end. And he drew one or two fouls at the end. And the coach pulled him for Larry Nance with like 3 or 4 minutes left because the dude just couldn't move his feet and get out on those screens. So that's why he didn't play more. He could have finished that game out and gotten like 27, but he had to get pulled because he just couldn't do the switching at the end. But if Jokic is in, I think it does help his minutes out, from maybe bump him from 23 to like 28 or something like that, which would be good for a guy like Nurkic at 6.3K. But is Jokic going to play? That's the question. You know, he hasn't played 2 games in a row. Does he miss the third? I have no idea. I kind of lean like he does, but I hope he plays. What are we doing here, K-Falik?
Well, I have JT, as I said, JT Hayes is calling the Jokic family to find out. So we're gonna get this news hopefully soon. But seriously, the you got to be interested in Jokic first of all. I think he's just an elite play in this situation. And I know Hoop talked about if he doesn't play, Aaron Gordon becomes a very solid play. And it's just, you have to make sure that you're, I said it last night with the Philly game, but this is actually a situation where you should, is if you're going to be playing any of this backloading of the games, you need to have 3, 4, 5 pivots available to you. And don't even worry about those games. Don't try to build a lineup. Literally just play the 3. Just determine how many guys you want to play in the early games and just kind of put yourself in that spot where you're playing 3 or 4 in the early games. Put them in the first positions and then just wait until you get news. Because if you're going to keep on guessing back and forth, you're going to drive yourself nuts. There's too many questions here. Like, people aren't even talking about the fact that Clippers canceled shoot around. They haven't announced, and they haven't been required to announce, are any people possibly missing this game? We don't know the answer to that. And it could happen. It's happened plenty of times when people cancel shoot around. It's due to some type of issue. They do multiple tests, and you have to wait for what the results come out as. So you have 4 teams that you should be able to get all the news you need, at least on these 2 late games. And the way that I'm looking at it is, I'm focusing in on these 2 early games based off of the news that is there, and then I'm going to leave an appropriate number of spots to ensure that I'm allowing myself to make the necessary changes. Is the way I'm looking at it. But I think you're right on all of the plays that you're saying. If Nurkic becomes a good play because how attractive and how good he's been the last 2 games in the limited minutes, and he's going to be required. They don't have anybody else that can really guard Jokic, I think, as well as Nurkic can, and be as aggressive offensively as well. So I think you're right. I'm not sure I'm going to play Dame on a slate like tonight unless the news drops that all these guys are out, because I think that there are better plays, especially if AD sits. Like, I think Russell Westbrook becomes million times better of a play than Dame Lillard is, and you're only limited to a certain number of guard spots.
So K-Falk, real quick, someone in the chat said Nurkic played 21 minutes last time they played Denver, the first time they played Denver this year. And I just want to say that was one of the games Dame Lillard didn't play, and they got blown out by 30 against Denver. So even though he only played 21 minutes, the game was, they got smoked. I watched that whole game. They got smoked. No Dame. When you're down your best player and you're down by, big, the guys aren't going to play their minutes. I think it's saying something that he still got 21 minutes though, personally in that game.
So the way that you need to look at it, in my opinion, is go look at this is why I think charts are valuable, is if you look at if you look at his rotations, he played 21 minutes of the first 31 minutes of the game. So he missed a full rotation and was playing a 7-minute rotation, a 7+ minute rotation, and a 7-minute rotation. So that's the way I look at it, is if that game would have been closer,
you're at 28 minutes right there, right, KFL?
You're at 28 plus minutes, because the fourth rotation is usually also potentially extended depending on how the game goes as well, in the substitution flows and stuff like that.
My exact words were, if I was like using an opto, I would be bumping his minutes I don't know what's his minutes projection at. Like I would bump that up if you're projecting a close game, I would push it to around 28 minutes. I think that's a reasonable minutes projection. And I would say that his minutes aren't, like, I see 23, 24 minutes on some sites. So change that to 27 to 28 and see if he's hitting any of your teams. Tony talks about it all the time. Use the optimizer and test it out. All right. Hoop, did we get your take on this game, the Denver game?
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of what K. Fallick said, I tend to agree with. Where if I have a stud that I'm paying up for tonight, it's going to be Jokic. I want to be on him. It's a wrist injury. You have to imagine the conditioning still going to be there in full minutes if he does play. Now, if he's out, if you're building, I mean, the issue with this slate is we got some really good value early on. Now, these games are at 7 Eastern and 7:30 Eastern, so you probably are going to have to decide what you're going to do very early with your lineups. Are you going to load up on some of these early games, or are you going to wait? Now, waiting, I don't think is the worst approach. So let's say you have Jokic. If you're going to play Jokic, make sure you have at least 2 other pieces from these late games. It's a good point that K. Fallick brought up. It's a point that we talked about on the Hardwood show. You have a lot of options here in way different price points too. So let's say you build a team that has Jokic in there, and you have to do a 3v3 to get off of Jokic because that. Well, you can go to Aaron Gordon, you can go to Paul George late, you can go to Lillard, like you said. Maybe Luka's out. We have Jalen Brunson. You could even play Porzingis. You'll be able to put together a good lineup whether or not Jokic is in. So make sure you have yourself flexibility. So for me personally, if I'm playing Jokic, which I plan on doing tonight, I want at least 2 other guys from these late games so I can make the pivots in case he's out. I don't know. To me, it seems truly 50-50. The weird part is Portland's favored by 6.5 in this spot. So, I don't know if that's an indication that Jokic is going to be out. I mean, Big T analyzes those situations pretty good. I mean, do you have any lean on that, Tony? I mean, looking at the line or what?
Yeah, I mean, I don't ever look at the line like most people do before, just because I think people overanalyze it a little bit and try to think too much into it. Because the minute he gets rolled, say they rolled him out officially, I think it would move. And if he got rolled in, it might move. So they kind of put it in that middle ground where, I mean, if he plays, maybe it goes down to 4. If he doesn't, maybe it goes to 8 or something. But yeah, I think he plays. I don't know. My buddy said he was practicing without a brace. I don't know. There was some picture. I haven't seen the picture, but that's what he told me, that there was a picture without a brace.
I've seen that.
You guys saw that one?
I've seen that on Twitter, that he practiced without a brace and he did the full shoot around. He didn't leave early or anything like that. So
yeah.
I think Hoop said it best, where you just plan on him being in, play him. I think he plays. I think it's maybe 70-30 he plays. If he doesn't, just pivot. I mean, yeah, I'd rather play Jokic, but if somehow we get unlucky and he's out, I mean, you could even pivot to just Nurkic and some. There's tons of pivots. Just make sure you have two guys is the only key. Don't somehow leave yourself with just Jokic.
What's nice about these two late games is people are probably like annoyed by the increasing of prices of guys like Porzingis and Will Barton and stuff like that. But really, it allows you a lot of ability to adjust without having to do too many changes to a lineup that you're happy with. Like Porzingis at 8.5, he was at what 6.9 or 6 point whatever before he started going off in this situation. So now you're, as long as you're not playing all studs in the last games, like you're not playing the 4 highest price guys and playing all the value early, then you should be fine because you're able to make enough changes. Is how I see it.
All right, yeah. So I mean, I like what you're saying. I think it's not a bad idea to just backload and like Hoop said, hope Jokic plays. I get it. If Jokic plays though, I really don't want much to do with much of the Denver side. Like I think Willie Barton, you could still play at 6,500 on FanDuel, but like 7-4 on DK if Jokic plays, that's a tough price tag. Aaron Gordon becomes out of play for me. I think if Jokic plays at the price tag he's at, no way I would trust Aaron Gordon then. So
what about Jokic?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would wait and try and get Jokic if he plays. That's all I'm saying, though. If he doesn't play, then I think those guys you can play even at the price tags. So either way, I guess you would need multiple spots like open for each scenario, right, K-Falik?
Wait, we got the news we've been waiting for. Detroit lineup is out, and it is Corey Joseph, Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, and Luka Garza.
Woo! Is his name Luka?
Yes. Yeah. God, Luka Garza is starting.
Ooh. So what that says to me is
Does he play like Luka?
Luka Garza and Luka Garza and Trey Lyles will be playing 48 center minutes. That is
can I bet the under?
Great. So I either get the entire thing or not. Like that seems like a fair bet. Like,
I don't think it'll even be close.
Okay, so you want to do 32?
You just got on me for my bet. You go all the way down to 32.
I don't even know what is the appropriate.
You just made fun of me, and you said he's
projected the two on the site 32. That I use. On the site that I use, they're currently projected for 34 minutes together. Do you want to play?
Well, let's meet in the middle. I'll take under 40. What happened in our second bet? Because I peeled you for 100 on the one. Did you beat me on the second one?
But you also owe me $1,000. So.
We're gonna lose way more too on that.
Yeah,
our guys suck. God.
So, anyways, I the thing is, you got the New York value that y'all been talking about, which I agree with. I 100% agree with you on that. But you have these two guys plus a few other. Like, I don't think Corey Joseph is a play that I will ever go after. I just don't like the style of play with how he plays with the team. Like, I just don't like him that much. But I think that these two guys are in play. Frank Jackson's in play. And then the 6 to 7 5 guys are Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, Cade Cunningham are obviously in play as well. So I just think we need to make a decision on what's the route that is right for Detroit. But I do think that these bigs get a lot of minutes. So. But Gary just posted that Casey said Jeremy Grant will have to play some 5 tonight.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable. Luka Garza can't play that many minutes against Bam. Like that he just can't do it. And Trey Lyles is just, I don't think he's that good. So yeah, makes sense. Jeremy Grant. He's gonna. I mean, I don't know about you guys. Do you like Detroit with this lineup, Tony? Is this a lineup where you're like, okay, I'm going to get Jeremy Grant for some 5 minutes. I got my boy Cade. What are you doing?
I don't know. The prices feel kind of fair to me. I don't know. Jeremy Grant and Cade both in the 7Ks. I'm not removing either one of them from my player pool. I'm leaving them in, but I'm not like falling over to roster either one of them. If either one of them lands in my lineup, I'm okay with it. But I don't need them. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Grant's
going to help locks
Bam.
for me.
I think
the locks for me
Bam,
are Westbrook
personally.
and our other boy from the Lakers,
THT.
Why are you so certain that AD's sitting?
I mean, I just don't think he plays. I don't know. Maybe he plays. I don't know. You got to make some decisions. He might play.
I mean, we'll get it. I mean, you'll be able to.
That's what I mean. It's like we'll just decide when we get the news.
Yeah. You don't have to make that decision right now, which is nice.
Even if he doesn't, I like Westbrook.
AD will start. Good timing.
They gave the news right now. Oh, good.
Yeah, it just dropped. So
we got him in. We got okay.
So now it's really just on this slate.
I still like Westbrook and THT, but they're not deadlocks if AD's in.
Yeah, no. But now all we got on the slate left is Jokic and Luka. So I think it's a clear spot.
So is everyone just going to end up playing? They're all going to play? We're not going to get any of the –
I don't know. You got to worry about the foreign things.
I'm sure Jokic will be the damn one that ends up sitting on us.
I have this
don't sit Jokic.
I have this odd feeling that Tony's going to lock in these first two games heavily and just like hammer these first two games for some reason. And
I want Jokic though. I'm going to be so mad when Jokic is out.
You badly need Jokic to play. Because I think that Jokic
I wanted AD out.
That's what I wanted.
If Jokic plays though, I think that his as we've been saying, I think his price is still fair. But he could break.
I'm annoyed now.
Still,
I really thought AD was going to sit. Those were my locks. Now I don't have my two locks, and we only got 13 minutes.
I might just lock in these. I may pull the Tony and lock in these first two games and just avoid.
The good thing is you got some guys you can use for sure in them.
Yeah,
if Jokic and Luka both play, you're in really good shape. If one of them sits, you're probably in trouble.
I don't know if you're in trouble if one sits. If both sits, you're in trouble.
Yeah. If both sits, you're definitely in trouble.
Yeah.
God, I wanted AD to sit.
But they're going to be like, do you think that they're going to, I feel like people are going to try to backload for these last two games. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I tend to think otherwise because you already have the good value. People tend to take the value when they can get it. So I think a majority of people are going to load up here early on because you already have the known commodity.
So I think they're going to load up on the value, though. I don't know if they're going to load up on the higher price guys. And go ahead. I think AD and Westbrook are good plays no matter what. Even like they yes, it drops a little, but let's just use the situation of Luka plays. I don't think he's playable. I don't think that any of the Dallas guys are playable if Luka plays. If Jokic plays, the only guy that's even remotely playable is Jokic. So, and maybe like Monty Morris to an extent. I don't think he's a great play, but I think he's somewhat in play. So then you're stuck with the what is also fair pricing on Portland and on the Clippers. So you have like overpricing due to Luka and Jokic being out recently. Add in those two guys, and then you have who I think that they're higher than 50-50 is what I believe because Thanksgiving doesn't matter to them. Sorry, I had to throw that in for a second.
All right, so as we get K-Felix takes on guys sitting out for Thanksgiving, I'm just going to read off my FanDuel core because it's up. DK core will be up in a sec, but I got Dame Lillard, Emmanuel Quickly, Alec Burks, Cade Cunningham, THT, and Jeremy Grant. That's my FanDuel core. As these guys get their cores up, I will try and read them off as quickly as possible because I know we've got only 10 minutes to lock. Just a reminder, though, that only one game locks at 7. So, again, on my FanDuel core, there are two guys in it that lock at 7. It's Cade Cunningham and Jeremy Grant. The rest of those guys don't lock until 7:30 or later. So just keep in mind when we post these cores, make sure you get those early guys in for sure. Like I said, 10 minutes left. I'll update as soon as we have it. I got to get my DK done. We touched on Denver for sure. The last game, the Dallas Clippers game. I mean, I guess it's all about Luka, right? If Luka plays or if he doesn't play, if he's out, Brunson, Porzingis, you can play them. Tim Hardaway, you can play those guys. But now I think you're paying what their prices should be, right? Like I think now their prices have caught up. Maybe Brunson 7.3, but still I think it's close to where it should be. Porzingis 8.8. I would say that's where his should be too, or 8.5 DK88 on FanDuel. I would say that's pretty fair. What do we think of this game? Obviously, PG on the other side. Like, we could load up on this game. We could wait for news, but I guess it's something where you got to decide: are you waiting for the Luka news?
I think this game is for sure the low-owned game, just because of the news. Unless news hits, I mean, if Luka plays, I don't think there's that much there as far as just pure value. I mean, sure, some guys could get there, but it's clearly my fourth favorite game, assuming no one sits.
Yes.
Which is another reason that, so, I mean, I could see what K Fallick's doing. I mean, I might do it. I mean, he called it. He usually knows where I'm going to go. I might do it too. I mean, if Jokic plays, I think we're okay playing these first two games.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is in two lineups, I'm going to play the early in one and backload in the other. And
you got the perfect. Hedging, that's what's good about what you do, though, playing the 3 or 4 teams. You can always just save one backloaded. Yeah. But what I do is tougher.
Well, I think anyone who's playing more than 2 to 3 teams, this is what you should do, especially on a 4-game slate, because you could fall right into the nuts if news breaks your way. And, not many people do what you do, and you're staying up waiting for the news and being able to adjust. And that's what people don't do enough in DFS. And I get that some people can't because of life, kids, all that stuff. But that's what gives you an advantage, right? And that's
take advantage of
a lot of it. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, and I personally think, for tournament perspective, most ownership is going to come from these first 2 games. If you have flexibility on the slate, I think you could potentially have the leg up on the competition. Now this last game, the Mavericks Clippers game, I don't think there's any must play type guys here, but if you're planning on playing Jokic and he's ruled out, I would not mind playing some of these guys. If Luka's ruled out, I love Brunson. 40 fantasy points, just continues to get 40 at 7.3K. I would absolutely love him. I don't think people are going to have the flexibility to get to a guy like Brunson, who is he looks great out there, just looks great. Zubac is another play. Zubac's 5.1K continues to get right around 30 fantasy points. And it's not a huge number, but on a 4-game slate, that's pretty damn good for someone that's 5.1K. If I have to play Paul George at 10-3, I'd be happy to play Paul George at 10-3. There's a lot of different scenarios that can play out here in these last 2 games. I just don't think a lot of people are going to have the flexibility to get to some of these pieces, based on the value that we have early on. I think a lot of people just lock it in.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Hoop. I guess what I just said and then what you said kind of tail in where not many people want to wait and adjust at 9 at night, right? And we know that, and I think that's where you're people are just going to lock these guys in. There's for sure value. There's some studs. It all kind of fits, right? So that does make sense. I think it is a way to go. We did get Big T's core. I'll read it off to the people. It's Kemba Walker. This is DK, by the way. Kemba Walker, Alec Burks, Luka Garza, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook.
He's on him.
You're such a bad.
You gotta just get up right now. Hey,
honestly, I only did it just to get you guys to laugh.
Fallick, you gotta get up and take the walk. Take the victory walk. Show Big T. Take the camera with you.
that is such a Big T move, by the way.
That is the prototypical Big T move right there. You are right.
Oh. If I didn't have to finish my freaking lineup, I would go and take a walk. But I need to finish my lineup.
You guys got me laughing.
Which, by the way, has Luka Garza in it.
The best part is I might play Trey Lyles with him.
Oh my God, that is the best part.
I agree with K Fallick. The only thing I disagree on is I don't think we're getting 48 minutes, but I do think there were 3K.
If you remember, y'all were like, why is K Fallick doing this route for this game? And Big T and I had a 1v1 in the end, and Big T was making fun of me for not going stars and scrubs. This is the exact same situation right now. The exact same. Just saying.
I will say I do like the Kemba call. I think Kemba's an underrated play here tonight.
I think he's like a lock.
I think he's a great play. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I don't mind Kemba.
He's just very cheap. Like, very cheap.
What are you doing? Let me just push you further, Tony. What are you doing with THT in this?
I'm playing it. Well, I'm not going to say I'm playing him because I don't want to give more to my core, but I do like him. I love Westbrook, AD, and THT for sure. If everything stays the same, I think Russ. I like the Lakers. I don't know how they're +6. That's just absurd to me.
I think that those three together are such good plays as well.
Yeah.
Like
last time I piggybacked a Big T play live on the show, it printed for me as Bengals this week. So I'm about to hop on the freaking Lakers.
Did you bet my lock of the season, the Bengals?
Yes, I told you on the show. I fired while we were on the show.
The winner. I don't think the Lakers. How are they +6? I don't understand.
Everybody needs
real
to
quick
be very...
before these guys finish talking, I just want to read DK Core, my DK Core, Russ Westbrook, Alec Burks, RJ Barrett, THT, and Yusuf Nurkic. I'm going under the assumption that Nikola Jokic plays. That's what I want to do.
We can always adjust if he's out. Like we can adjust.
Yep.
I would just like to give the warning to everyone that Tony and I have not been aligned very often this year, and we are perfectly aligned, and I'm pretty damn sure we have the exact same lineup.
Hey, Alec, that's not a bold statement. I mean, I don't think you're typically aligned with anyone.
Okay. Poor K Alex. Someone come to K Alex defense. I want to swoop in and come to K Alex.
Oh man, defense. Where's that 6.5 number? DK has it 4.5.
It probably moved since they rolled AD in.
Wow.
I mean, they're still gonna. I don't know how they're an underdog. I don't get it.
Tony and I have the exact same cores on both sites, but I just want to throw out that I do think that Paul George is underpriced on FanDuel. I will say that.
How much is he?
He's 9.2.
Yeah, go.
That's a terrible price tag. He's a lock over there. That's a brutal price tag for him.
Yeah.
9.2 you said, K-Fel?
Yeah, that's bad price tag.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cheap for it. He's been playing so good this year.
Yeah.
He's been playing so good. That is cheap. Let's see, am I missing anyone? Just trying to get in. You got about 1 minute left. I'm trying to look. I think all the cores are up now.
Looking for the satellites, JSU, like me right now?
I already got in my satellites. I'm in it. I'm locked in, Phallic. Good to go.
If you want to play the 444, guys, I think that may it's definitely not going to fill. I don't know if it's going to overlay, but it'll be close.
There's actually some overlay.
It may be worth it for those that don't play that high of a stakes. Tonight might be your night if you're interested. It's not, again, I don't think it ends up overlaying, but it will definitely not fill.
For what? Yeah. What is it?
The 444 on DK.
Oh, the main tournament's going to overlay?
Yeah, it's not going to overlay. It go, and guys, I'll give you, because 30 seconds left, there's two 2,500 Mega Millionaire satellites, $29 and $14. Those are for sure going to overlay. So if you're throwing in lineups, those are for sure going to overlay. 112 out of 210 and 70 out of 100. So hop in those.
I will say too, the best thing I ever got from the best thing I ever did listening to K Phallic was start playing these satellites.
Yeah.
It saved me so much money.
Look at these right now. Look at them. They're half full. Like it's crazy not to put them in. I never did it either. I still don't always do it because I forget. I wasn't going to do it right now until he brought it up, and then I put my team in there.
It was the best thing I ever did. I've saved so much money winning tickets in these satellites over
There's nothing
them.
More tilting too than when you get to that day and you got to pony up a couple 5,000 or something, and then K Phallic comes in and he's like, I got 9 tickets tonight. I mean, what? Like, it's just so tilting every time because he just owns me.
I get it though. Now I get it.
The guy that can afford to buy all the entries himself, every single one.
Yeah, and he's got 9 freaking tickets, and then my
literally the entire contest.
I mean, those things were half full. I just got in there. The problem is I never win them when I get in.
But listen, if you're playing $14 to play in it, and it's the same thing. Like I'm going to say, we're getting annoyed with the Lonzo Ball situation, and like he's 90-1 still. Like I'm sorry if I will continue playing what I think is
he's going to hit one for us. We only got to hit 1 out of 90.
Yeah, 1 out of 90. And we break even. Obviously, like my goal is to hit 1 out of 75 or something like that. But that's the situation, and that's how I play satellites as well. Is if I hit 3 tickets on the 2,500, I've made money easily on it because I'm not investing in anything unless it has overlay in it or unless it's a tournament that I feel is a fair tournament. Like I'm not going to play, excuse me, the 250 entry, the $250 entry one, unless I see that there's only 6 or 7 people in it against me. Like I'm not going to go and enter that one. I'm going to enter in the $12, $14, and if I hit, I hit. If I miss, I miss. Like it is what it is.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
How many people were out for Detroit when we got this Garza? Who's out? How many of them?
So Stewart, Kelly Olynyk are both out. Those are the bigs. Those were their main bigs in the rotation. Trey Lyles was always playing like a few minutes, but nothing major. The major minutes were by Stewart and Kelly Olynyk at the five.
And then for guards, you have Killian Hayes out is the only one out, but they really don't have any other bigs except for Lyles, Garza, and Jeremy Grant. Like you can say Josh Jackson is considered a power forward. He's not a power forward. So
no, definitely not a power forward. I mean, so he's skinny.
I want to play a quick ownership game before I head out.
Yeah, let's do it. I like to own Tony in the ownership game.
All right, this is in the fadeaway, which is the $15 entry, I believe. Yeah, $15 entry, 100K to first on DK. Let's start off with the guy we were just talking about, Luka Garza.
Luka, I can't wait for this one. Luka Garza. What tournament is this? The high stakes or the main one?
Main one, $15.
Oh God, Garza. I mean, no one could have played him but us.
I'll say like 4.
I'm gonna say like. I mean, he is 3K in starting though. He's got to be like 15.
15.
I'm gonna say 12.
Big T gets the first one.
Yes, sir, I do.
18.
How much was it? He's 18%.
Oh, damn! A lot of people are listening to Falik.
Yeah, he's trending.
Right,
Lakers starting lineups official: Westbrook, Bradley, Horton Tucker, DeAndre Jordan, and Anthony Davis.
Perfect. How is Avery Bradley still starting for an NBA team? Like that is just sad. I mean, seriously, sad times for the Lakers.
Unbelievable.
Let's go to his compadre, Trey Lyles, the other guy who's going to get all the center minutes.
You're talking about my whole team here. He's got to be lower, but he's still 3K. I mean, 7%.
5.
4.
You guys both went lower. Give me a high number.
Tony wins again.
Yes.
Oh,
I guess it's a 4-game slate. Maybe I should take that into consideration.
They're both 3K is the thing. I didn't want to play them, but they're 3K on a slate with all the stars.
9.85. All right, let's go.
He's almost 10%. Trey Lyles.
Yeah.
Maybe my team's better than I thought.
People are going to be locking these early games. These 2 early games.
Let's go to another cheapie. Corey Joseph.
Oh God, Corey Joseph.
26.
He's pretty cheap too. I think Hoop's right. I mean, these guys. I've guessed first and won both times.
That's why I went first. I want to get a win here. 26.
26. I played him I played him a decent amount on FanDuel. I don't know if I played him as much on DK. He's got to be. I'll say 20.
I definitely didn't play him on DK. He's not a play I roster most times.
What's your guess?
Unless he's 3K, I'm gonna guess 32%.
Yeah, give me under 20.
All right, Hoop gets the win on that one. 28%.
Oh,
damn, there we go.
God.
All right,
that's the keys to guess first.
Rookie.
You do set the bar when you get it out there.
Future rookie of the year, Cade Cunningham.
He's got to be high.
What'd you say, Hoop?
30.
30.
30's a good guess. Man, I don't know if I want to go higher or lower than you. He's got to be. JSU, you don't get to go third every time you guess, and I'll decide where you go after that.
No.
You don't get to go third every time.
Yes, you guess.
Because then you're going to go the opposite side of where I go.
No, you go.
Pin him. Go last and pin his ass.
I'll say Hoops at 30. I'll say, God, I mean, it's got to be close to 30. 34.
I'm going to say
30. Say 35 and pin him to.
No. Yeah, he waited. He gets to go last every time.
I'm going 28.
Yeah, go underneath.
Tony gets the win at 33.25.
Yeah, that's what we do.
All right, last one for me, and then I'm heading out of here.
I already got it one. If there's only one more, I got 3 points. That's a champion.
Well, let's just enjoy ourselves.
Well, you get a bonus if you hit it right on. So
give me how about this? Give me a name that y'all want to know ownership.
I want to know like some random dude to make it fun, like
Sadiq Bey.
No, let me give you a fun one. No. Let me give you a fun one. PJ Tucker.
Oh God, PJ freaking Tucker.
He was
3%.
What'd you guys say? 4?
He said 3. I said 4.
I have no idea.
3.5.
Tucker.
3.5.
You guys both go over me. Give me a low number.
I said 3.5. I'm going for.
Well, congratulations to JSU for getting on the board.
Yes!
He is stupid.
What did he say? He went third again.
He is stupidly. He is 8% owned.
Oh,
man. That just makes me believe backloading is the way to go.
So this first game, I'll just give you a collective ownership before I head out. It was 1/4 on DK. It was 1/4 of the ownership exactly. 200% is the ownership across the board. So
the funniest part about this whole show is I'm looking at my FanDuel team right now, and Nerlens Noel just fits perfect. After I made fun of Garza.
If you play Nerlens Noel on this slate, Tony, I mean, it'll be the most.
How great would it be if I shipped with
a more stereotypical Big T like day where he comes on just bashing these plays, and it comes full circle, and they're gonna end up being
perfect. I can't handle it. It's so funny. I was like, who's gonna fit in this spot? And it was him. Oh God, what a day!
That would just dry. I would victory lap in every single way, shape, and form that I was not wrong as this show got started. If you
Julius Randle's only 8,400 on FanDuel too.
Well, he's not expensive on DK either though.
I thought he was like almost 10K.
He's 10K on FanDuel or DK. 10K.
His price increase. He was not
8.4 is again. I mean,
that's cheap.
I don't know how you don't play Paul George and Randall on FanDuel. I think you need him in there.
Paul George and Randall.
Yeah, just bad. I mean, not 9.2 and 8.4, and those are crazy price tags on those guys.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Y'all have a great night. If I don't speak to y'all, happy Thanksgiving to each of you and your families.
Root in Garza for us.
Y'all
happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, Falik. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
Dip out here in a few as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're good tonight. We got a light night.
Cool.
We got
what are we doing tomorrow? What's our show schedule tomorrow?
So it's a long day tomorrow. So we got
all our holiday content.
Yeah, we're gonna have a ton of content. So if you guys want content, if you're home, maybe you're not working tomorrow, got a little nice holiday day off. We got shows. We're gonna have shows all day pretty much.
What's the schedule though? So what's the
schedule is we got Thanksgiving, me, Tambo, and whoever else wants to hop on. We wanted to do a Thanksgiving show on Wednesday. So we're gonna do that for you guys at 1 Eastern time. Maybe Big T will hop on. Who knows? We'll see. And then after that, we're recording the main print factory for the main slate. Then we've got a hardwood show at 4:45, final countdown at 6. And then Tony, I think we're going to do a little showdown show with me, you, and Allie after the NBA show, correct?
Yeah, I mean, we could do that. Or if you're already doing the 1 p.m., we could just do it at 1 p.m. But yeah. We can figure it out. Point being, we got shows all day tomorrow for the people.
Yeah, and all the normal content. I'm guessing we'll start dropping tomorrow. I mean, a lot of uncertainty on the slate, a lot of injury news we're waiting on, but I'm guessing a big chunk of the content will be out tomorrow.
And we got the gear.
Parker.
We got the gear too right here for the people. Some new hoodies, some t-shirts, some polos, some backpacks. I'm gonna post it all in the Discord so that if anyone wants some stuff, it's gonna be back ordered like everything right now in the country. I don't know when we'll get it, but we're gonna put the order in, and whenever it comes, it comes.
Christmas 2022.
By next year, we might have it.
That DC gets his before like 2024. Like, what's the odds?
It might be a minute.
Sorry, DC. It was funny when Allie got her stuff and she posted, and DC was like the first one to comment, like, "Oh, I'm glad that she got hers right away," or something like that. It was funny.
DC got his hand delivered. Like, he can't complain all that much. Literally, straight to him.
Yeah. He had to wait a little, but he got a hand delivered. So it's like it even
that goes a long way.
Yeah, for sure. Big Dick Nick he wants his hoodie. So we'll get the
no one's hoodies here. The order, I'm going to post it in Discord. If not tonight, tomorrow. I got to do like the organization of it to make sure we stay organized as people order it.
Yeah, for sure. But guys, we'll have a ton of content tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Get ready. We're going to have a ton of shows, all the normal content as well, playbook, score plays. For a big slate of NBA tomorrow night too. Monster slate because there's no NBA on Thursday. So get ready for that big slate. And then the Turkey Day football is going to be fun. We'll have a lot of content for that. So check it out. We'll see you guys tomorrow. For me, JSU, Big T, and Hoop. We'll see you guys later. Good luck in your contest. Later.